was trash. I've never in my life seen wide receivers at Alabama drop that many passes in any game, whether it be a spring game or a regular season game. I've never seen it. Serious question. Are we just not great anymore? I'm not beating around the bush. We're getting straight into this. The Alabama spring game just got done wrapping up. I have a serious question for every single person watching this. If you watch the Alabama spring game, please let me know in the comments. Are we just not that great anymore? That was the most... I took time out of my day to watch that game. I could have been out doing something. That was the most embarrassing performance I've ever seen. I got a lot to say, so you might want to strap in for this video. Let me get my phone real quick, as a matter of fact. Oh, yeah, by the way, does anybody drink these sparkling ices? I used to drink them years ago. They were hurting my stomach. I quit. Drank one last night, drinking another one. Kind of hurt my stomach again. I don't know. Might have to stay off them, but you know what we're here to talk about. I know what you want to hear. The quarterback battle. Look. It was bad, it was ugly, it was pitiful, and I'm not... It's kind of like, remember growing up, whenever you did something bad and you went home and you're like, man, dad's going to kill me, mom's going to kill me, they're going to say a bunch, they're going to ground me forever, and you get home and you talk to them, and they're like, well, son, or, you know, daughter, if you're a female watching, they're like, well, son, I'm disappointed in you. Nothing hurt worse than that. That's what hurts worse, and that's how I currently feel about this Alabama team. I wish I could say I'm mad, but I don't think I'm mad. I don't think I am. I'm disappointed. Jalen Milroe, look, man, I'm wishing you the best of luck. I hope you have a great career, great future, and whatever you want to pursue. But this is something I would tell one of my friends. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Being a quarterback's not in your future, my brother. It's just simply not. If anything, you've gotten worse since last year. Now, for the people that you're watching this video, the people watching this video and you didn't watch the Alabama spring game, here's all you need to know. Don't go waste your time and watch it. I'll give you a rundown. Did you watch the Alabama-Texas A&M game last year where Jalen Milroe almost cost Alabama the game? Pretty much what happened in this spring game. Now, I am going to criticize Jalen Milroe a lot because he deserves it. And it sucks. It really does. I thought he was going to come out there and ball out. I've heard in spring practice, dude was balling. Heard all these great reports. We've talked about it multiple times on the channel. Jalen Milroe's doing awesome in spring practice. He's taking a leap. He's 2,000 times better than last year. He's getting better as a passer. Well, I don't know who was saying all that. I don't know who was even feeding me it. Who was feeding me that information? It's wrong. I mean, let me read you the stats and we'll talk about this so you can get a perspective. On the day, Jalen Milroe went 19 for 37. If you can't do simple math, that's about 52% completion percentage. Awful. He had 245 passing yards. I need to throw in there, about 80 of those came on a last-second drive where the game was over and nobody was really trying. Had 2 touchdowns. One of those was on that last-second drive. And he also had 2 INTs. And he should have had 3. Early in the third quarter, he threw one right at Kool-Aid McKinstry. He dropped it. He really should have had 3 interceptions. And here's the thing about Jalen Milroe I want y'all to understand. It's not the interceptions and the incomplete passes that get to me. It's just how bad his decision-making is at times. I mean, he'll have me sitting here watching the games. This is how I was watching a spring game, and same thing last year when I was watching him against A&M. He'll make one play and a couple plays where you're sitting there going, how is this guy even at Alabama? How did he get a scholarship? But then a couple plays later, he'll have a good play where you're like, oh, okay, he's pretty good. He's got potential. And then, bam, he'll throw an interception right towards the guy. His interceptions, they're just terrible. And he should have had more in the spring game. Anyways, for the other quarterback in the game that's battling it out, Ty Simpson, wasn't much better. 12 for 26, about 48% completion percentage, $155 through there. 0 touchdowns. He could have had 1 or 2 if the receivers didn't fall. And he had 1 interception. But here's the difference with Ty Simpson. His interception wasn't a terrible pass or a terrible decision. It was on the goal line. It was on the 1-yard line where, well, they was on the 15 or 20. He threw it to the 1 yard line, and the defensive player made a heck of a play. It wasn't terrible. With Jalen Milroe, he throws the balls right at defenders. I've never seen anything like it from an Alabama quarterback. And I'll be the first to tell you, Alabama fans, we and you, as a Bama fan myself, we're in for a rude awakening. Because look at our last 4 quarterbacks. Think about how legendary this is. Jalen Hurts, $250 million contract in the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa, NFL quarterback, starter. Mac Jones, starter. And now Bryce Young, going to be the number 1 overall pick. We've been spoiled. That run is over. I don't care who start next year. Ty Simpson, Jalen Milroe, they ain't even going to be near as good as any of those guys. And I knew, even when we had the run with Tua, Jalen, Mac Jones, and recently Bryce Young, I was like, I need to cherish this because eventually we'll get back. Well, we'll not get back, but we'll have a year where it's not so good. And we're currently in that not so good year. It doesn't matter. This is like, what's so bad about this is it seems like everywhere in the SEC, the quarterback play was awesome in spring game. Tennessee, Joe Milton did good. Nico Imaleva, yeah, he didn't play great, but he did decent in the Georgia spring game. Heck, Carson Beck played out of his mind. Brock Vandagriff even played good. Everywhere. Florida spring game was miserable, and so was Auburn, but they don't count. They're not title contenders. They're not the gold standard like Alabama. Our spring game, our quarterbacks barely completed 50% of their passes. It was terrible. Jalen Milroe, man, let me talk about Jalen Milroe, and then I'll talk about Ty Simpson and who I think is leading this quarterback race. And it's not even, so with Georgia, let me give you an example. The Georgia quarterback battle, it was like, okay, we got 2 good options. Who do we want to pick? Where it stands for Alabama, it's like having the number 1 overall pick. You got a bunch of different options. But with the Alabama quarterback battle, if you want to call it right now, it's more so of, it's like, I guess we'll go with this guy. There's nobody that's standing out. And heck, even the 3rd and 4th stringers might have a chance at this point. Who knows? Nobody's standing out. It's almost like, okay, who's going to lose the job? Nobody's going out there and winning the job. And that's what concerns me. Nobody's looking good. And I want to make this clear. Yeah, everybody's going to talk about Jalen Milroe. He played awful, which I don't want to say he played awful, but he didn't play good. He played below average. But the other guy, Ty Simpson, didn't do too much better. Now, as far as it goes for Jalen Milroe, look, man, I don't know how many times. I tried giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, he wasn't good last year, but he's a young guy. He might have been nervous, right? He might have been nervous. Give him some time in spring, off season. Let's see what he can do, see what he can cook up. It's just not going to work out, man. And it's unfortunate. He's a freak athlete. He's built like freaking Derrick Henry, but he's playing quarterback. If he had half a decent arm, he could be like an Anthony Richardson at Florida. But truth of the matter is, Anthony Richardson is 2 times the quarterback that Jalen Milroe is. Jalen Milroe will not, I hope he is not the starting quarterback for Alabama on week 1 or at any point in the season. And I know that's going to come off as me trying to be mean and harsh. It's not. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great, humble, nice young man. This is just a football take, man. He's not ready to play quarterback at Alabama. I don't know if he'll ever get to that point. It is what it is. Now, moving along here to the other quarterback, Ty Simpson. Yes, 12 for 26. Yes, he had the interception. Yes, he threw behind on some receivers. But I liked him a little bit more, and I've kind of liked him a little bit more just because of this one reason. I don't feel like a disaster play is going to happen when I watch Ty Simpson. When I'm watching Jalen Milroe throw the ball, I feel like a disaster could happen at any given moment, and that scares me, and I don't want that to happen. Because we don't need you to be Cam Newton at Alabama. Just hand the ball off, make the right throws, just be an A.J. McCarron, and we'll take care of the rest. We got the talent, similar to Georgia's. Take care of the ball, make a couple of throws here and there. At this point in time, I would put Ty Simpson at QB1 just because I feel like he won't lose me the game. Jalen Milroe, I feel like could lose me any and every game we play in. Moving along here, it's not just the quarterbacks that concerned me in this spring game. What concerned me is, as a team, the defense looked pretty good. I was actually impressed with the defense. But the offense, not just the quarterback, everyone on the offense was trash. I've never in my life seen wide receivers at Alabama drop that many passes in any game, whether it be a spring game or a regular season game. I've never seen it. How does that happen? Hold on. Let me stop screaming, man. It ain't good for my health. It ain't good for my health. Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson didn't throw that many great passes, but when they did, and even the backups, the Dylan Lonergan dude, I ain't never heard of that guy. He threw a good pass. And it seemed like every time our quarterbacks threw a good pass, wide receivers hit him in the chest, hit him in the numbers, and drop it. We just don't look that great. And, okay, defense looked good. Cool. But we got to score, man. Offense looked terrible for the Alabama standards. The only bright side to the offense is the running back, Justin Haynes. Tell you, that dude can play, man. If you didn't see the spring game, all you need to know is he's Najee Harris 2.0. That dude can play, and I don't mean that because I know Justin Haynes is going to be like, no, I'm the only Justin Haynes, but that's a compliment, man. Dudes like Najee Harris, and he's a true freshman. Unreal. That's all I got to say about the spring game. I could say many more things. I'm sure we'll talk about this. This is just my immediate reaction. You know how this stuff goes. Now, outside of that, I also was tuning into the Colorado spring game, and man, oh man, that Shadur Sanders kid. I tweeted it out. I don't know if Shadur Sanders is really, really good or if Colorado's defense is really, really bad. I think it's a combination of both. What time is it? Yeah, I need to wrap up this video. I don't want to scream too much, but it ain't looking good. As an Alabama fan, this is definitely not what I wanted to see in a spring game. It's concerning, to say the least. It's a red flag. And don't let anybody try to tell you, oh, yeah, it's not a big deal. It most definitely is a big deal. Oh, it is a big deal. We don't have a quarterback. And our wide receivers are dropping passes. Last year, our wide receivers dropped passes, but at least we had a quarterback. So I don't know where we go moving from here. You could see it. If you saw the spring game, Saban, he looked concerned, and rightfully so. I hate to overreact like this. I didn't plan on making this video, but it was just that bad. And I'm going to end the video off with this, a question. Are we just simply not that great anymore? I mean, do I need to come to the terms with we're just good? We ain't great. Is our time over? Is the run over? Hey, we had a good run. Is it over? I don't know, man. Just let me know your thoughts down below.